Okay, today for math, we are still working on area. The standard we are covering is measurement. Element number 5, recognize area. And remember, area is what's on the inside, okay, of a shape. And you can count the square units. Recognize area as an attribute. Attribute is a characteristic of plane figures. When I say plane figures, we're talking about squares and rectangles, where you just see the length and the width of it, okay? And understand concepts of area measurement. A square with side length 1 unit called a unit square. Okay, side length, how long the side of an object is, okay? Square units, a unit with the length and width of 1, okay? Okay, B, a plane figure which can be covered without gaps. Okay, gaps are spaces or breaks in the design, or overlaps, okay, by n units, is said to have an area of n square units. So a gap, space or break, overlap covers another space or unit within that shape. Okay, looking at the anchor chart, we see that area is a measurement of square units and all the square units inside of a shape. That is what area is. All the square units inside of a shape. And area can be measured by counting how many tiles. Okay? Okay, how many tiles will fit on a floor, and area, you can tell how many tiles will fit on a wall. And it looks like this. Each square is 1 square foot. And all you'd have to do, it looks like an array. All you would have to do, make this a little bit bigger. You can count the number of you see you have 3 in each row. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So you can see that this area is 15, or it's 5 times 3, which equals 15, and the area of the floor is 15 square feet. Okay, how do we know it's feet? Because each square is 1 foot. And more than 1 foot, we have to say it's feet. Okay, looking at this anchor chart, area is the measurement of the space inside an object using square units. So we can count the squares or the tiles here, and we can see that this figure has an area of 10 square units. Okay, all you have to do is count the squares or the tiles. This area, this one, is an area of 9 square units. And remember last week we talked about half a square plus half a square is 1 whole square. So remember that. So this is 9 square units here. And we can figure out what area is by multiplying the sides. The length times the width equals area. L is length, width, W is width, and area is A. Length is how long. So this rectangle is 2 units long, and its width is 3 units long. And all we have to do to calculate the area, we multiply 2 times 3, and we see we have 6 square units. Okay, you even can count the squares to check that, and you see you have 6 square units there. Okay, in this rectangle, we have a length of 3 units times a width of 9 units. We multiply, we see that the area is 27 square feet. Okay. Okay, you also, for MD6, which is another standard, you will be measuring areas by counting unit squares. And the measurements you will use square centimeters, square meters, square inches, square feet, and improvised or made up units. Okay? So what do I mean by those? Okay, square centimeter, a tile or square unit with the length and width of 1 centimeter. Square meter, a tile or square unit with the length and width of 1 meter. Square inch, a tile or square unit with the length and width of 1 inch. Square feet, square foot, a tile or square unit with the length and width of 1 foot. Okay. So your learning target, to be successful, you need to be able to learn that area is the measurement of the inside of a shape, and that you can count square units to measure area. You need to be able to, you'll know that you are successful with this when you can cover a region or a design with unit squares and count how many square units it takes to completely cover it without gaps, which are spaces or breaks, and um, and overlaps. Okay, remember, overlaps covers another space or unit within the region. So you don't want to count the overlaps. And you need to be able to measure area by counting square units. Okay, so you see here when we tile, and we're just talking about the square units, you can see this example right here is showing you correctly that this is 6 square units. Okay, this example is incorrect. Let me make it bigger. Move it down. Okay, this example is incorrect because you have gaps, spaces here. Okay, this example is not correct because you have overlaps here. 2 shapes are overlapping here, and then you also have a gap right there. The next region or example is not correct because you have overlaps. Okay, overlaps. Tiles on top of each other here that cover the same area. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure it's correct. Okay. All right. On this slide right here, you are going to, let me make it smaller a little bit. Okay. We're going to learn about partitioning. Partition means to separate into rows and columns. Okay. And then you can count the squares. Okay. So we see we have 4 rows and we have 6 columns. Okay. And you can count the squares, but you can use what you know about multiplication. So here, I'm going to put a text box in here. You can see that you got 4 rows and there are 6 columns, which means there's an area of 24 squares, because 6 times 4 or 4 times 6 is 24. Okay, let's look at this chart over here. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay, area. Remember, area is what's on the inside. All you have to do is count the boxes. Okay, area is the size of a surface. Okay, the space inside of a boundary is area. So we see here by counting the squares, we see that this space has an area of 16 square units. Okay, and we can count the perimeter. The perimeter is the distance around on the outside. So area is what's on the inside. You see we have 16 squares. Perimeter is what's on the outside. So we can count the boundary around it. So you would go like this. You would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. But perimeter is something we will learn later. I'm just introducing it. Okay, here you see you have an area of 6 square units on the inside, and the perimeter, we count the count what's on the outside, the squares on the outside, the length on the outside of the distance around it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 units. The area of the inside or the unshaded figure. What is the area of the unshaded figure? The area of the unshaded figure, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 square units. Okay. Okay, so this shape right here has an area of, and remember what I told you about half squares. A half a square plus a half square will be one whole square. So you see that this would be one whole square. And then you can count the other squares and you see you'd have 12 square units. Okay. What you're going to do today, make this a little bit smaller here. Now that I've deconstructed the standard and broke down the vocabulary to help you understand, you're going to click here to watch the Brain Pop video and take the quiz. Okay. There is a quiz that you can take. Okay. So there's the Brain Pop video there. The quiz I will put in a Google Forms for you to take. Okay. Then what you're going to do, you're going to go to Braining Camp and you're going to use the tiles to make pictures and designs with a given number of tiles. Okay. You can use the same number of square units, even though you may end up with different pictures. Something can have the same square units and have the same area, but have a different picture. Okay. So let me see if I can show you this with Braining Camp. Let me come over here to Clever and show you how you can have different areas with different designs. Try not to make this video too long. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down to Braining Camp. Here's Braining Camp over here. Waiting for it to load up. Okay, and I'm going to use my color tiles. Okay, those are the manipulatives I'm going to use. My color tiles. So I click on it. Okay, and I'm going to drag my shapes here. Okay, I'm going to do, okay, so you see that this is a region of an area that has 6 square units. Okay, and I can do another one. Let's say I have this one. Okay, but I want to change it. Okay, so I'm just showing you how you can have different designs with the same area. Okay, this one in red has an area of 6 square units as well. Okay, so you have 6 square units here, and I can label it. Okay, area. Okay, let me take that off of that. I'm going to use the text box instead. All right, let's see. Get me a text box. Let's see. No text box. There we go. There's the text box. Okay, so area equals 6 square units. Okay, both of these has an area of 6 square units right there. Okay, so we see how to do that. Okay, I can even do another one. Okay, this one also is an area of 6. Don't want any gaps in it. Area of 6 square units. Okay, I need one more tile. Okay, so all of these have an area of 6 square units, and all you do is count the square units. Okay, let's go back to our slides. Okay, so we use the Braining Camp. Okay, so make sure you go to Brain Camp, make pictures and designs with a given number of tiles. You can choose any number. I chose 6. You might do 10. Okay. Okay, and you can share. You can take a screenshot of what you make, and you can attach it, or have your parents send me a Class Dojo picture of what you did, so I know that you did it. That would work. Take a picture of your work. Okay. Now what you're going to do, you're going to come down here and your ticket out the door. I want you to look at the areas of these pictures. Okay. And I want you to tell me by typing in the text box here, how many square centimeters is this shape? How many square kilometers is this shape? Okay, remember, just count the squares. And how many square millimeters is this shape? And how many square meters is this shape? So type your answer here. All you have to do is type the number of squares. So I'll do the first one and you can do the rest. Okay, so the first one, make sure I click in the text box here. This would be have an area of, let's say I got 4 rows, 4 columns, 4 times 4. This is 16 square units. I use what I know about multiplication to do that, but you can count the squares. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 16 square centimeters. Okay, and that's all you're going to do for today. So I'm going to stop the video.